Hey, what's going on, guys? Willis. We're back with another Borderlands 3 video. Another, I guess, hotfix patch video for you guys today. They're changing a lot of different legendaries in the game. In this video, we're going over all of the legendaries they're changing, the nerfs, all that good stuff. So yeah, if you guys enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Make sure to turn bell and notifications on so you're notified whenever I upload a video. But yeah, let's jump into it. So these patch notes came out a few hours ago, 4 hours ago, to be precise, and just like all the other hotfixes, I'm pretty sure these won't be applied to the game if you're offline, so you won't need to worry about any of this stuff. If you're one of those people who just complain, just play offline and you won't need to worry about any of this stuff. But yeah, let's go over it. So this week's Borderlands hotfixes adjusted legendary gear across all manufacturers. Basically, their goal with legendary gear is to enable a large variety of playstyles and builds for all characters. After looking through the data, Gearbox found that some pieces of legendary gear were greatly outperforming others and felt they were limiting builds instead of increasing them. In addition, some of the damage output of legendary gear limited the growth in combat engagements for the future, so we tuned everything to an acceptable medium. We expect all Vault Hunters to be able to create amazing builds, and we want to support that with more ways to grow and reach those power levels. So, weapon hotfixes, Malawan. So the Wester gun damage has been increased by 25%. The ASMD damage has been increased by 28%. The Cutsman, damage has been reduced by 25%. That's pretty big. Theodore, so the 10-gallon damage has been increased by 8%. We've got a lot of Ladoff changes. So the sickle reload speed has been increased by 25%. The phasor damage has been increased by 15%. The infinity damage has been increased by 40%. I think that's the infinity pistol they're referring to. They've kind of spelled it weird. The magnificent damage has been increased by 25%. The Jericho damage has been increased by 40%. Lucian's Call, so the accuracy and handling has been reduced. Lyuda, the critical damage bonus decreased by 30% and made a modification to address a reported bug that an extra bullet was spawned in the center. So the Lyuda's functionality is to split the projectiles from 1 to 3 after a certain distance. It was reported that the original projectile was never destroyed in the process of splitting, so one projectile actually became 4. Addressing this concern effectively removed a full shot worth of damage, with auto-corrects the base damage of the weapon. Since we increased all sniper rifle critical damage bonus in the previous hotfix, we reduced some of the critical damage bonus on the Lyuda. So the Lyuda is sort of receiving a nerf, one of the most powerful weapons in the game, powerful snipers. This gun is insane, so maybe that's why it was doing so much damage. Torque, so the tri-bolt damage has been increased by 25%. The alchemist damage has been increased by 25%. The devil's foursome damage has been increased by 13%. Now the Flakka, another very powerful gun. This is a shotgun. So the Flakka now consumes the full magazine when fired, and the damage is reduced by 33% and the high rate of fire. They said, we initially believed the resulting projectile spread would cause most of the explosions to miss the target. However, this turned out to be false, so we reduced the projectile damage and allowed the weapon to only fire once per magazine. This change encourages players to capitalize on different stat bonuses to maximize the weapon damage output. The laser sploder rocket projectile spawn interval has been increased by 0.4 seconds. So Jacobs, Maggie damage has been increased by 35%. The Hellwalker damage has been reduced by 8%. So Hyperion, they said, we found that a couple of the legendary Hyperion weaponry bypassed the Hyperion manufacturer playstyle too easily, making the bonus greatly outweigh the penalties. The Butcher was drastically outperforming all metrics, and we chose to reduce the damage in order to keep fast fire rate. The Conference Call damage has been increased by 15%. Crossroad accuracy reduced and now fires 3 projectiles instead of 4. The Butcher accuracy reduced and damage reduced by 25%. That's pretty huge. Dal, Vanquisher damage has been increased by 20%. Now onto Children of the Vault weapons. The Skeksis damage has been increased by 15%. The Linoge damage has been increased by 20%. The Pain is Power damage has been increased by 25%. Now moving on to Atlas, the Ruby's Wrath damage has been increased by 10%. Moving on, I think this is one of the last few changes, is grenades. So the Hex and Firestorm grenade were calibrated to the wrong grenade modifier. These two grenades were envisioned to specialize by applying elemental dots to targets. Instead, they're resulting in a large amount of damage and the elemental dots were minimum. We realized that this is a drastic change on both of these grenades, but we did not want to remove the spectacle of the grenade, the number of spawned, number of targets hit, etc., and focused on allowing their core identity to be emphasized instead of them continuing to just be high damage grenades. The Hunter Seeker damage increased by 25%. The Hex grenade damage has been reduced by 70% and reduced duration to 3 seconds. Firestorm damage has been reduced by 70%. Wow, major nerfs on these grenades, crazy. So, artifacts. It was reported that the legendary artifact Elemental Projector had a bug, resulting in the max value being displayed at 183% instead of the actual value of 113%. Therefore, they addressed the discrepancy and reduced the max value to 90%. Elemental Projector damage max roll reduced to 90%. So we got some Vault Hunter changes. So this is actually some really good changes. I was actually reading over this. It's got to do with Moses Iron Bear, which is extremely weak in high mayhem content. It just gets one shot, and this is super good. It's the same with Flax pets pretty much. Even the Digiclone gets one shot, and they're all receiving insane buffs. So the Iron Bear health has been increased by 50%. All pets from Flak have been increased by 50%. The Digiclone health has been increased by 100%. And they addressed a bug with Salvation where grenades were giving lifesteal. So, but this is great. Using spawned abilities from Zane, Flak, and Mose, like the Bear, the Clone, and even Flak's pets are just, they're super weak in mayhem content. And they always get one shot before you have a chance to just do any damage or just leave them out there. Having them in this increased health is going to help them a lot, just with survivability and stuff like that. So I'm super glad, but that's pretty much all the changes. There's been some bug fixes, which I'll leave in the video description if you want to go check it out. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like if you did, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't forget to turn on them bell and notifications. And once again, guys, if you're looking to trade any weapon in the game, jump in the Discord, discord.gg/Willis. If you're looking for any item, you'll probably find it in my Discord. But this has been Willis. I'll see you guys in my next video, and peace.